there's been this long-term perception that accumulating more stuff and having, more material riches is kind of the point of human life. And it's the point of a civilization to get richer and richer and richer and consume more things and consume better things than everyone else. So I think that attitude has to change in a big way. That instead of wanting to consume more and prove that we're better than other people or prove that we've outcompeted everyone else, it should be about finding ways to consume less and taking pride in consuming less and making less of an impact on the earth. So I think it's like a value system that has to change overall. I think there aren't enough tools for digital minimalism. Like right now, the internet and social media is also about consuming more and more and processing more information. So I hope that in the future there are better tools to narrow those things down and to help you focus through digital spaces instead of overwhelming you all the time. I think the metaverse is this term that technology companies want us to believe in. It's this kind of marketing concept that they will create a virtual world and they'll give us all the tools to live in it. And they would prefer us to live in that space because it would mean they can more easily profit from us and commodify all of our thoughts and actions. But I also think that we kind of already live in the metaverse because digital platforms have just invaded every space that we live in. So there's nowhere that's not on the internet now. Like the internet influences what we eat, where we go, how we make a living, how we communicate with our friends. So in that sense, I think we already live digital lives, just not in virtual reality. And that also scares me a little bit because it feels homogenous and it feels boring in a way that we have this global culture, but it's all flattened into like the one flavor of Netflix. It's not growing diversity in different spaces, it's actually all growing toward the same point. And that feels like more homogenous and less interesting to me than different things developing in different places. No form of culture, or less and less culture, exists offline. And so all the culture online has to kind of conform to the technology and the formats of the platforms that exist online. So I think in that way, culture is big data, but also the kind of ways that culture is distributed and the ways that people make a living from it and the ways that artists sustain themselves, that has also become turned into data and kind of dictated by these platforms as well. Impacts diversity. We are certainly surrounded by algorithms now. Like I think algorithmic feeds like Twitter or Netflix or Amazon even, those kind of shape all of our experiences now. Like the stuff we buy, the TV shows we watch, the music we listen to. And I think it has a lot of negative consequences. So I think algorithmic feeds have a way of homogenizing culture and making it less diverse and less interesting. And that's definitely a negative outcome. I was studying when algorithms emerged in social media. So when our feeds were going from being chronological or linear to being more automated and algorithmic. And that actually happened only in 2016, 2015. Like before that time, it was mostly chronological. It was more linear. You could get a sense of why it was ordered in the way it was ordered. But then around 2016, a kind of switch flipped and everything became more personalized or algorithmic. And so I think the most surprising thing is that this is a recent phenomenon. Like things have not always been like this. Like I think the internet encourages you to think there's no history. Like things have always been the way that they are right now, but that's not true. Like social media before was more sustainable, less exploitative, maybe less misinformation. But now that the switch has flipped, it's like totally gotten worse only in the past 6 years.